Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to round 8 of season 11 of Wheel to Wheel Racing. Tonight sees us at Croatia at the
Dragon Trail, where we're going to pick up some very live action and very hard-fought battles here as we head into the last two rounds of the season. And we're going to see TDR and Scuderia, the two teams, battle it out with representatives from various teams as well. So it should be good fun, and a lot of chicken eating at that death chicane down the bottom.
Thanks for that, Havoc. And this stream is couldn't be done without our sponsors, so we'll quickly run through. We've got Jade Finance Australia, BQS Group, AMS Excavations, 180 Embroidery and Hybrid AG, and we thank them very much for the sponsorship they provide and making this all possible. Yep, that's right, Havoc. We're in the ultimate round in Dragon Tail before the big enduro next week at Big Willow, and there's not many points up for grabs left for the top contenders. So those guys at the moment that are sitting at the top of the leaderboard, we're looking at Fixer Chris, Goat and Pure Axel. These three guys are the only three guys that have actually pulled off a perfect round. Perfect round being winning both race 1 and 2. So it's pretty close between those three drivers, but between 1 and 2 there's only about 44 points between the top two, so it's going to be exciting with these last two rounds. Now, of course, on board I've got Havoc. Welcome.
Thank you very much. Good to be here.
And on the visuals we've got, as always, Dodgy. Welcome.
Yeah, thanks, Madrisky. It is great to be back, buddy. Like you said, the penultimate round. This is looking like a hot showdown. This season has been awesome all round. Div 1's close, Div 2's close. The team champions are close. We've got 2 weeks left. This race is, what are we looking at? About 30-odd laps of that death chicane. So I'm not willing to put my money on anyone in this race. I don't think anyone's willing to put money on themselves for this race. So I just think we get this race underway, get the pit open and get them out there for quali. What do you reckon?
I think it's a great idea, and you're dead right there, mate. It's the Death Chicken, as was previously called in the last stream, is something to behold. If you don't get that turn in right, you've just about ended your race right there and then. But we'll get this started and we'll see how the boys go.
It'll certainly be interesting. Expect speeds of around 210, 220 for the Death Chicken at the bottom now. There's 17 turns on this track, going over 4.2 kilometres. So expect, there's very hard to pass as well. You'll see a lot of action and expect a few mishaps along the way.
That's right. So we'll start off, and we've got Super Dragon leading him out. That's Team TDR, Team Dodgy, sponsored by 180 Embroidery, and then we've got behind him, we've got Adam in 13R. And
behind Adam in 13R, Goat is just behind him, and Corbin's just up the inside there as they go around their outlap here.
And then we've got also Scooter 82, also part of L-Plan, Jade Finance Australia, and then Team TDR again. We've got DJ Stefko coming up behind Scooter.
And worth mentioning that Pure Axel is actually a privateer, so one to look out for. Looking forward to next season. Certainly, Pure Axel will be a good pickup for any teams that are looking out there.
And behind Pure Axel, we've got the first of the Team Hexagons, and that is Dale.
Then we have Combo straight behind him, alongside with Fixer Chris, who's sitting out at the back, just doing his outlap and just getting a bit wild there for the Death Chicken. As you can see, cars everywhere.
Yeah, chaos already, so the guys will probably have to reset this lap or come in for some fresh tyres, because it'll be a wasted lap. Unless they can wash off that damage before they actually start their hot lap. Now, with all that going on, we've lost the order, but I'm on board now with Team Scuderia, Fixer Chris, and behind Fixer Chris we've got also Team Scuderia, we've got Kazadro starting his hot lap as well.
Well, I'll tell you what, we just jumped in with Fixer Chris, so why don't you try and talk us through a lap mid?
All right, so Fixer Chris is coming into this left-hander. You just slide on the brakes. You want to try to keep that left-handed lane so you can get a good right turn. Then you've got a small little kink there. Now this is a flyer. This is a right-hander. There's a touch on the brake, even if you do that. Then a hard brake and turn in early for another sharp right-hander. And then a flat chat all the way up and down this hill. Now we've got a sweeping left-hander coming up here. I've noticed people have different turning points, but what you want to try to do is you get yourself the straightest line as you possibly can, which is a bit hard because the turns are fairly curved, so you're not going to be able to get a nice straight line, but trying to keep as much pace as you can, then down the hill, and then late on the brakes before you come into this left right-hander, and then guide it around gently. There's a chance to spin here, so you've got to really feather that pedal before you come into these death corners, and it's a right left, and then you've got the death chicane. Now once again, we just saw before this lap started there was absolute chaos. Now if you're too close to someone and they do hit it, there's a chance you'll take yourself out. But then Chris comes down late on the brakes as you come into this slight windy right-hander. You try to keep a good tight line and come out and accelerate all the way through. And he's coming up to the line now. Chris is in second with a 137 flat. Now after saying that, Goat has come through with 136.9, so just 1/10 in front of Fixer Chris. Tombo's come in third with 137.3. Kazadro just behind him with 200th, 137.4. Scooter's in fifth with a 137.7. Dale just behind him with 5/1000ths with a 137.7 as well. DJ Stefko's coming in 7th with 137.7. Super Dragon 138 in 8th position. Pure Axel uncharacteristic 138.2 is in 9th. Zoo's in 10th with a 139 even. Adams following in 11th with it doesn't look like Adams actually set a lap at the moment. Those times don't look to be fast laps. And Corbin is also in the same place. I don't think he's had a chance to set a hot lap at the moment.
Yeah, Adam was in the previous lap. This is still his out lap, I believe. He ate some death chicken as he went round, and yeah, he was leading Goat and Chris round. And yeah, whilst you were commentating on a lap there, he ate some chicken, went back in the pits, picked up a new set of tyres, and out again. So expect a fast lap from him next time round.
These times may not seem as fast to those out there, but one thing we haven't hit on yet with race 1 this week, we are on mediums only. So these guys are actually qualifying on the mediums. And I don't know about you guys, but the mediums are really hard to get a hold of in GT7 at the moment. I'm finding it much more comfortable on the hards than the mediums, and I can quite often go faster on hards than mediums. What do you guys think of them? Mid?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Dodgy. When we went out in the previous race, I couldn't believe it was like someone had soaked them up before we got on track, but they were really hard to sort of handle on the track. But I agree with you. I think the hards were easier to navigate with than the mediums. Havoc?
Yeah, sure. The hards, I found them hard in my race to handle in the first few laps. Strategies are interesting, and in the next race, that is. Mediums for this race, it's certainly a challenge, and like I say, I think they are better than hards. That's for sure.
Well, we'll have a quick update of the leaderboard at the moment. Fixer Chris has ended up in front of PLE Goat, and Corbin has found himself in third position with a 37.3. Tombo in fourth with a 37.3, and Kazadro is now sitting in fifth. DJ Stefko's moved up a position or two. He's in sixth now. Scooter's moved down the field. Dale's moved down the field. I think Dragon's about where he was. And once again, Pure Axel is still sitting in 10th. Zoo in 11th, and Adam in 12th. And once again, Zoo's actually put forward a decent time, but it's not quick enough to bring him out of that outside, put him into the top 10.
Yeah, Fixer Chris just landed a 136.696 there to go fastest. and he would have picked up a nice draft from Dow, and he's now following around. Be interesting to see whether or not he carries on in that slipstream, or if he tries to pull out of it and go round and go for the next lap even faster.
And Adams moved himself from 12th all the way up to 3rd in that Supra, which is an absolute rocket. On the straights, that thing just pours the power on, and the speed as well.
Yeah, might have a surprise winner in Adam here. If he qualifies in the top 3 and keeps this pace up, we'll certainly be looking top 3 or 4 finish for the sprint race here in 6 laps.
Some more movement. Scooter's made his way back up into 4th position. That's Cazadro's also jumped. CCH has now dropped to 6th, which also dropped Tombo and DJ Stefko. No change, unfortunately, for Dale, Pure Axel, and Super Dragon's now finding himself all the way in 11th position, and Zoo is still sitting at the back of the field.
Yeah, so Fixer, Chris and Goat take the front two at the moment, separated by 0.242 as Goat goes through the chicane. Managed to go around and come out quite nicely, approaching 240 as he approaches the final bend to turn in.
Now, Dodgy, I wasn't keeping a track of the time, but I think about 6 laps is about the 10-minute mark.
You know what? I was just thinking that exact same thing, that I wonder if Dale hit the stopwatch on his end. But we'll wait and see. If you add up those times on the right-hand side, you'll get a fair idea at the moment.
Yeah, so I'm looking at those at the moment, and it's a bit hard to tell with everyone's... there we go, 20 seconds.
So 20 seconds to go. There's only really... As
Tombo's just about to cross.
Tombo
Does he
crosses the
better?
line.
He's in 6th. He jumped 1 position. And who else? We've got DJ Stefko. He's in 9th now. Can he better his time? Into 4th.
And he does. By half a second.
Just in time.
Just in time.
Okay, who are we jumping on with here? Let's jump on with Stefko in 4th, shall we?
Yeah, it's a good idea, I think.
See how we go.
Alright, wait for the lights to come on. 1 red, 2 red, 3 red, 4 red. We've got 5 red lights, they're about to go. Racing. That was a bit of a slow start there from Chris, from what I could see. Goat's right up on the inside and he's ripping past him. And right behind them, DJ Stefko's moved from 4th into 3rd, and he's right on Goat's tail. He's past Fixer Chris. This will be interesting into the corner. Adam's there as well.
Into turns 2 and 3. Scooter's dropping back a bit there. KZ's gained a position. Still very close between Fixer and Stefko here. Right, William will be taking that slipstream all the way up the straight as they go around this bend.
Clean so far towards the back. Tombo does an inside dive on CCH, gains a position. But they're all pretty much nose to tail at the moment. It's been clean up until this point.
Yeah, expect Fixer Chris to make a run down here as come out the slipstream and down into that right-hander towards the chicken. If he's close enough here, might make it.
Had him a small
And
moment
he's
there.
up the inside. Past Stefko and on the up behind Goat. Bear in mind that with the championship so close between these two, Goat needs to finish in front of Fixer Chris to stay in touch going into the final round, really.
Oh, we've got a damage at the chicken. There's at least
Tombo.
2 or 3 of them off there.
Tombo, KZ. Tombo spun around. KZ stayed straight, but I think he has got a little bit of damage. Yep, he's got engine damage front and back, and same with Tombo, unfortunately. So both those guys are going to have to fight their way from the back, and the only problem with this race is you've only got 6 laps. Trying to make back the 15 seconds that Tombo's now lost when his car finally comes around is going to be an absolute ask. With no slipstream, he's a long way back.
Yeah, certainly a long way back there with the top 2 still remaining the same. Top 4 still getting that nice line. Pulled away a little bit from Dragon now.
Yep, there's about half a second between the top 4 at the moment, and then a second and a half back to Dragon, and right on his tail is Scooter. And I'd imagine that Scooter will try to get him down at the bottom of this straight. I don't know what that...
Scooter's
geez.
off.
Oh, jeez, he's done well to hold on to it there. And he's got Pure Axle right on his tail.
Yeah, Pure Axle will be looking to take complete
Scooter's gone
advantage.
wide. That's going to let Pure Axle through.
And he goes up the inside. Scooter has no choice here but to duck in.
Yeah, but pick up some dirt around this track, and you have to take it easy for the next few corners just to make it to get back on track.
At the moment,
Like
we've got,
Corbin a bit sideways out of the death chicane then. No damage though, I don't think.
we've got Goat leading the race at the moment, who's just come onto the pit straight. Right behind him, only 0.3 of a second behind is Fixer Chris, sitting in that slipstream, who's just picked up the fastest lap. And DJ Stefko, with Adam right on his tail, is another 1.2 seconds behind the top two.
And certainly Fixer Chris taking a look there, thinking wise of it and just moving back and backing off. Should be interesting to see on the main straight if he gets the pace up again in this Beetle. Seems to have a lot of pace over that Corvette down the straight.
Yep, so DJ Stefko closed a little bit of time there on to Chris. Adam sticking in DJ's slipstream for the time being, but it looks like these top four have pretty much made a breakaway from the rest of the field. Dragon's now got himself a little bit of a buffer when Scooter went a little bit wide on the bottom of this straight, and he's pursued now by Pure Axle, but Pure Axle is a second away, and he's also got Scooter on his tail, and not too far off them we've got Dale, but with a further, I think, yep, CCH has just had a moment coming out of those sweepers. Kazadro is now just touching Kazadro there, and he's got engine damage and front and back damage. Tombo should get on the back of him quite quickly here. That's a bit of a shame there for CCH. He was looking pretty fast.
And Chris is trying to go round the outside to go on the final bend. He cuts inside, takes a bit of the slipstream into the home straight drag race down to turns 1 and 2 now.
It's bringing Stefko up.
And just a quick report on CCH. He didn't navigate the death chicane and got front and back damage again with some more engine damage. So unfortunately he's back of the field now. Tombo's gone past.
Yeah, Fixer Chris just overtaken Goat on turn 2.
Gave him a little tap there.
Slow down. Stefko's having a look now as well, but he's backed off and slotted back into third, just waiting to pick up the pieces between these two.
Yeah, and they haven't done themselves any favours here. They've really brought DJ Stefko and Adam right into the mix here. It's a four-way now. Before it was a 2x2, but now there's definitely four, and Chris looks like he's got himself a little bit of a breather there with just a half a second gap, but I'd imagine that that will diminish the moment Goat gets on the throttle in that huge car he's got. He's hunting him down now.
And certainly Adam and Dragon sitting there like the Bradbury, just waiting to pick up the pieces.
Oh, that's so right, Havoc, because I think this close, when everyone's pushing, I mean, just sit behind and wait for this next corner, the death chicane, to see whether or not it pays any dividends for you. But Adam gets around with a little bit of a sideways. He's hanging on the back of DJ Stefko here, but the front two have started to pull away again, so they lost that small advantage that they had. He's closing back up again here. Fixer Chris is doing quite well to hold off Goat. He's got himself up to 7/10 lead. And it just takes
something, it's going to take something special for Goat to catch that up now.
And just
2 laps to go.
Just look at it dropping with that huge, what is it, a V12 behind him, or a V10? Or is it a V8? I'm not even sure.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's the V12. It's got to be, surely.
Yes, well, that his lap was coming down in the tenths coming into that straight. They're a little bit further apart than they were the last lap at this point. But looking back, Pure Axle has now gone past Dragon. He's 3 seconds off the pace. Dragon's half a second off Pure Axle, and we've got Dale now, who's moved up past Scooter into 7th position. Scooter right on the back of him. Just checking everyone's tyres, and I can't say there's a big difference between any of the guys in the top 4. It looks like potentially Chris has got a little bit better, slightly better tyres than the other 3 behind him.
Yeah, it looks like Chris is the only one that's broken into 136s so far. Everyone else sitting around about 137s and a halves.
Just report at the back, we've got Zoo in 9th, we've got Gazadro now chasing him down after that small spill he had. Tombo also 5 seconds off Gazadro, and CCH is 6 seconds at the rear of Tombo. It's a lot of time with coming up to a little over 1 lap to go. That's pretty much where he's going to end up, I think.
Yeah. Barring any deficit at the chicane at the chicken, I reckon we could be seeing a Chris win here. Chris.
Yeah, so looking at Fixer Chris at the moment, he's pushed that lead out. He's 1.2 seconds up at the moment. I don't know whether or not Goat's struggling with his tyres, but he's really starting to put some time between him and Goat. And you'd think with 3/4 of a lap to go that lead should be enough to see him through. I'm hoping I just didn't put the commentator's curse on him.
I think we just lost Defco.
Oh, no, yeah, we did actually. Yep, he's moved back from 3rd position into 6th, so he's had a bit of a moment there. He's got rear damage. That gives Adam 3rd place, 1.3 seconds behind Goat, with nearly 3 seconds to Pure Axel behind him. And as they come around to negotiate the last 4 or 5 corners, unless we have a major incident, we've got Chris in 1st, Goat in 2nd, Adam in 3rd, Pure Axel in 4th, Super Dragon in 5th, DJ Sefko in 6th, Scooter in 7th, Dale in 8th, Zoo in 9th, Gazadro 10th, Tombo 11th, and CCH bringing up the back of the group.
And it looks like everyone's got for that def chicane as we follow Fixer Chris to the finishing line. We've got 1.4 lead, 0.9 faster on lap 5 than Goat was. And yeah, it's Adam V10 in 3rd, Pure Axel coming home in 4th, Dragon coming home in 5th, Stefko in 6th, Scooter in 7th, Del Keats 8th, 9th Zoo, Kazadro coming home in 10th, Tombo in 11th, and CCH coming home in 12th there.
Well, that was the sprint, and Fixer Chris and Goat, who are our top 2 contenders at the moment. Fixer Chris will extend his lead. Now it's a case of whether or not he can do the same thing for the next race, which is a 25 lapper.
Yeah, it should be very interesting with the strategies that come out in this next race. Some guys have mentioned a triple soft, some are going hard soft. Depending where you qualify will affect what strategy you pick, you reckon?
Yeah, I think so, mate. And I was in a lobby earlier today, only for a short time, but I did see one person take the softs to 12 laps. Another person took them well past 12 laps. Unless I mixed a pit stop, I expect to see some very long stints and a one stop potentially for some of these drivers.
Yeah, I must admit, I haven't seen a one stop yet, and it was very hairy and very scary. Certainly trying to make these softs last. A lot of care, and the skill taken by these guys to complete that is just amazing.
Yeah, Havoc, I had no chance either. I was struggling to keep them within the 6 laps. I think that's about all I could manage. Being Div 1, I'm expecting some of these guys are going to teach us a thing or two about tyre conservation.
Yeah, keep an eye on the telemetry as it comes up on your screen and the deltas. Certainly, yeah, some guys will drop a second or two a lap to see if they can gain less tyre wear and ultimately lose a pit stop so that they don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, it'll be interesting as well, is the soft tyre is the mandatory tyre. The medium is not available for the next race, but the hard is. So it'll be interesting to see whether or not someone tries to take the hard the whole 25 laps, although I think that'll be a ask, given the fact that I don't think any of the cars, even with pretty good fuel saving, are going to make it round to 25 laps.
And while we're waiting for these guys to get ready to go out for their next 25 lapper, 25 laps of trying to survive that chicane, I might throw to a couple of ads from our sponsors.
Do you own a business needing new equipment? Or perhaps you're wanting a good set of wheels for that shiny new bike licence? Maybe you're after that well-earned boat for retirement. Or you desperately need a new car or caravan for those family getaways? Get in touch with Jade Finance today.
And there you have it. Three of our sponsors, team sponsors they are, here at Wheel to Wheel. You might see a few of the cars sporting their decals on the certain teams. I know Team Dodgy Racing are a great fan of 180 Embroidery, who really look after Wheel to Wheel, looking after our trophies and our merch. And we've also got Jade Finance in there, who are the big naming rights sponsor to Wheel to Wheel for the rest of this year. They've done a great job supporting us. We wouldn't be where we are without them. Mid, how about some other sponsors? You got any out there?
Yeah, we've got two more sponsors to cover. BQS Group is an integral provider of transport and logistics solutions Australia-wide. Since 2003, the team at BQS have been customising solutions for their broad range of clients and partners. To find out more, go to www.bqs.com.au. And our newest sponsor, Hybrid Ag. Hybrid Ag is on a mission to transform food for health by working with forward-thinking growers and latest science research. Hybrid Ag are leading the industry in plant nutrition systems to grow healthier, bigger and more sustainable crops. If you'd like to find out more about Hybrid Ag, head to their website, www.hybridag.com.au.
Awesome, thanks. Now, while you're at it, would you like to let these guys know they can get out of these pits? They're probably chomping at the bit to go. We do run for the second race of the evening a hot lap quali, so these guys no doubt will be on softs. They'll have one out lap and one hot lap, and that is it. So let's get it happening and get them out.
All right, let's see how they go. And they're off. Like you said.
Sorry, go on then.
No, you're right, mate.
Yeah, Team L Plan leading the way to Scooter on behalf of Jade Finance. So see what he has to do. The other airplane car is pulled over and let people through, so, and that'll be CCH.
Yep, so we'll see whether or not the guys, at the moment they're pretty close together, which is a little bit of a surprise, but then again, obviously some of the guys are going to want the slipstream of the faster cars, but like you just mentioned, Dodgy, it's a one lap hot lap, which means there is absolutely no room for error, and that means that you might be able to get away with hitting the death chicken on the first lap and give yourself a little bit of time for the damage to wear off, but if you encounter its caress and touch on the second lap, you may as well get ready to sit from the back of the pack.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if anyone does sit in the back of the pack and just safely do their own lap rather than taking a risk behind someone else. How much do you want to gamble on that?
Yeah, well, I think it's one of those things. I think they called it the great equaliser in the previous stream. I think that's a great way to refer to it as. It's a corner that does not take prisoners. So if you do want to not lift off the throttle and push yourself through there, the rewards are great, but the risk of not getting it right is unbelievable.
Scooter leading the way, still they're spaced out a bit now, so still trying to catch that slipstream, but still stay in the safe range as well. So.
Sounds like Pure Axle may have grazed the wall there.
So no one within slipstream within the first 6, 7, 8 cars. Everyone fairly well spaced at the moment. Pure Axle, yeah, it looks like he's got a little bit of front and back damage. He's just going to sit there until that resets.
Yeah, he's going to wait a good 10 seconds, 12 seconds for that to reset. And you see Goats at the back there just taking the safe option. Should give him a nice lap. Meantime, Scooter's still hammering around.
Yep, he's just he's making his way through the left, right, left sweepers downhill into the. I suppose we could call it an almost hairpin.
Down into turns 12 before he goes into turns 13 and 14, which is the depth chicane here. And he seems to have made that pretty safely. Yes, he has. He's got through quite nicely.
Yeah, quite a bit of power there. He is.
Steph go. Oh, and it looks like Dale's collected it too.
Yeah, he's got a bit of rear damage there, unfortunately. That's going to take about a second off his lap time by the time he gets up around this corner. On board now with Scooter as he comes through on soft. What has he pulled? A 136. I'm not sure that's going to be enough to keep him in that position. There we go. DJ Stefko's pipped him by 0.02 of a second. And I'm not sure that that's enough for DJ Stefko to stay in that position either.
Yeah, but as they cross the line, you're going to see a
Chris
little
up
drop.
to first.
And the positions just drop down.
Yeah, Chris into 35s there, so a good half a second in front of second place DJ Stefko, but we've got a few guys still yet to cross the line.
Yep, including Goat, who's going to be looking, I reckon, about a 136, 137. 135.
Second place.
By 400ths of a second in second place. DJ Stefko keeps his third position, but we've still got Pure Axle to come through, I believe. He's about to cross the line now.
He picks up a 137. 137 now.
Okay, so we've
got
got
him in nicely in 10th.
Fixer Chris first, Goat second, DJ Stefko third, Scooter in fourth, Kazadro in fifth, and everyone's jumping into the pits now, and I've lost the leaderboard placings.
Yes, by the looks of it, it looks like Dragon was, yeah, it's flipping around now, so we're not going to pick that up, I'm afraid.
All right, we're just we'll give them about 1 minute. Dale's given them 1 minute for people to, or drivers to go in and change their tyres to their preferred tyre before the start of the race. As we mentioned, the soft tyre is the mandatory tyre, although you can start on the hard. It'll be interesting to see who ends up on
certainly
what.
Certainly what's going to cause the first lap action is those on hards competing with those on softs. Whether they're going to just let them through on different strategies or whether they're going to fight for position.
Yeah, it will be interesting. I think it usually the strategy is if you're up in those top four positions, you want to start on softs and get yourself way out, away from all the competition. That way, when you have to pit, then you've got some nice clear space. But the only danger with that is that you get yourself so far in front that by the time you pit, you come back out in traffic. So, and once again, that all depends. If it's clean racing, the pack could drop back if there are some incidents along the way. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see. It looks like Chris is going to start on hards, and Goat's going to start on softs. DJ on softs, Adam's on hards, Tombo's on hards, Zoo's on hards, Dragon's on hards, Corbin's going to start on softs, Cazadro's on hards, Pure Axle's on hards, and Scooter's on hards as well, with Dale moving to the softs. So we're just waiting for Dale to kick it off now.
Yeah, so 5 drivers on softs and the rest of the field on hards.
Here we go. I think Dodgy, either Scooter or Adam, I think
Adam?
will be a good. Yep. Waiting for the lights. 2 red, 3, 4, 5 red lights are about to go. They're off.
We all go. We are off.
And DJ Stefko
Great
got
start
an
from Stefko.
absolute rocket of a start. He's straight past Chris already, but he's on the softs, and that was a great move. He needs to get in front of. He needs to get in front of Chris. Cody's also on the softs.
Adam Scooter fighting here in 4th and 5th. It's a little bit of a touch, but they managed to hold it with Barrowby. Tombo's looking to take advantage as we go 3 abreast for a second then.
Oh, this is going to be close. I think he's got... no, he backs off. Tombo backs off. And he's got Dale right next to him, and Dale goes straight past. Tombo backed off a little there. He's got Cazadro right on his tail, and then Corbin, who's on softs, CCH. He'd want to get through these guys as quick as he can before those tyres really start to grate.
Yeah, certainly he'll catch the slipstream as Scooter. Dale will catch the slipstream as Scooter here and try and make a move down the inside into the hairpin right as they go towards the Deaf Chicken.
And this is the difference between the tyres at the moment. We've got Adam in 4th place already, nearly 3 seconds behind DJ Stefko and Goat. It is phenomenal how much quicker the soft tyres are compared to the hard, especially on this track. It's so technical, and just got past there. Adam did. I thought he was going to hit the wall, but he's made it through.
Someone did. Dragons had to go out around. Might be KZ. Scooter, was it?
Scooter's got some damage. Dale's gone past, and Corbin's moved into 7th position, so starting to make use of those soft tyres. Now, whether or not he can work here with Scooter to help him through. Scooter would be best place just to let him through and sit in his slipstream.
Yeah, certainly that not only will help with tyres but also help with fuel consumption. If he can stay behind him for a while there and gain a few vital temps in the pits on refueling.
Definitely so. And DJ's now 1.4 seconds off Goat, but they've got a 2.5 second lead from Fixer Chris.
And that's what you need on these softs too. If you're gonna gamble on going softs from the start, you need to be sure you're going to get some clear air, because if you get stuck behind some of those hard tyre guys, you can totally chew up your softs.
Yeah, you did right there, Dodgy. Yeah, the whole point about being on the softs is you got clean air and you can put those fast laps together, but if you're sitting behind someone on hard tyres and you're doing lap times that are 2 seconds off what you should be doing, then it's an absolute waste to be on the tyres.
Yeah, certainly Adam's doing great there on his hard set of tyres, just sitting behind Fixer as Fixer Chris makes a slight mistake at that hairpin right as we head to the Deaf Chicken, and he goes for it quite nicely. Yeah, no, he's eating some chicken. He's gone for both walls as well.
Yeah, Chris has picked up front and back damage there. He didn't get through cleanly there at all, and CCH has now gone past him. It's exactly what he wanted.
Adam's gone wide.
Commentator's curse again.
Well, I think, like we said before, it's risk for reward. You can try to push it through without lifting off the accelerator. If you get your lines right, it's rewarding. You get so much time. You can put nearly a whole second, if not more, by not lifting going through the chicane. But yeah, if you don't get it right, damage, and the worst thing that can happen if you've got engine damage, but getting away with just front and back, I think Chris was a little bit lucky there.
Yeah, lucky no engine damage would have cost him at least another 10 seconds, maybe 20.
Yep. Now we've got CCH now coming up on the back of Adam, who's just put his back wheels into the dirt there. CCH now going up.
Oh, that's ballsy.
That was close. I'm not sure if there was a touch there or not, or whether Adam just went a little bit too wide and the wheels spun.
That's a hell of a place to try and stick your nose, CCH, I must say.
Yeah, I was going to say that those corners are not ideal for making a passing move. They're so high speed. Drivers have already picked their line. You've really got to put your car into the lines really early, and so trying to put your car into an overtaking position, you're going to compromise someone's lines. That was a gutsy move.
Did Adam pick up some damage there? It might have been a bit of lag, actually. It looked like he clipped a wall on the right-hand side.
I think I was watching him, and he just brushed the wall, but it didn't result in any damage. That's it. Goat's now got himself a 6.5 second lead. Dale is sitting in third position on softs. CCH in fourth. Now we've got the top four runners on soft tyres. I think it's great to see that Dale and CCH got themselves out of the pack of the hard runners. So they've got clean air now, so they can start to put together their hard laps. Just looking at the tyres though, CCH's tyres are nearly at half already. The only problem being is that they really start to go downhill once they get past the halfway mark, so he's got to make them last for at least another 2.5 laps.
Yep, expect people to come in on around lap 5 or 6 for the first pit stops. We've got Adam on hards in 5th, Pixar Chris in 6th on hards, Kazadro on hards in 7th, 8th Pure Axel again on hards, Scooter on hards in 9th, Dragon on hards in 10th, Tombo in 11th on hards, and Zoo on hards at the back there as well.
Just watching the front runners at the moment. Goat's pushed his lead out to 2.5 seconds from Stefko. It's 4 seconds back to Dale. So Dale's done a great job to stay within 4 seconds, given that they had to negotiate all the traffic, both him and CCH. So they're still in with a chance of, I'll say, a decent result. But once again, they're on the soft, so we don't know how the other guys are going to go once they jump onto their softer compound.
It is very hard around this track to save your tyres. The softs do drop off rapidly. Once they wear down, that's it. It's hands back, no more bets. And you've got Corbin and Tombo here in this race. Now, they're two of our resident controller users. I couldn't think of a worse track to be on a controller with to try and save the tyres, especially the softs. I can't really see these guys doing any more than 1 or 2 stints on softs. They're going to have to go to the hards. Otherwise, it's just going to be too dangerous for them, I reckon.
Yeah, Gran Turismo have been playing with the tyre settings, so I think everyone's still trying to come to terms. A couple of weeks back, they were ridiculously good, no matter how many laps you were doing, and they've dialed them back again, and now everyone's trying to figure out exactly where the sweet spot is for the amount of laps. But you're dead right there, Dodgy. This is not a great track for a controller user, especially on tyres.
Yeah, certainly would hate to be in their shoes trying to conserve tyres here. That's where the strategy.
Goat's just missed the wall.
Stefko got it by the look of it. I dare say he's going to have a little
and
damage
Joel
at the back.
Taken both walls and picked up 3 wheel damage, 2 fenders. And Corbin has passed him.
Yep, the only thing I can say for Corbin, though, that's great that he's got himself in a 3rd position. Those tyres are not looking great. He's still got to pull off 1 more lap.
Oh, he's struggling. He's gone a little bit wide, but still managed to keep on track. Well done.
DJ Stefko's got the best tyres at the moment out of the top 4. Philly Goat is not looking great. He's looking about in the same shape as CCH. So they've got a full lap to navigate with these really worn soft tyres at the moment. So they need to brake a little bit earlier. They need to turn a little bit earlier. Just be a little bit more careful negotiating these corners, because the smallest slide could potentially see him lose a position.
I know Goat's been practicing all week to make these tyres last. It's going to be interesting to see if he's succeeded. I don't know if he's going to be able to pull it off. It's going to be a dodgy one. I think he'll be struggling to get more than 7 laps out of that Corvette on softs.
Oh, Dodge, I'll be surprised if he goes for a 7th lap. I really will. And we'll have to wait and see how he negotiates the death chicane this time around. That may be a telling factor in whether or not he pits or tries another lap. Oh, jeez.
Taking it very close there.
Yeah, he's backed right off, but he's still got into a bit of a slide there.
I don't believe there's no way he can take a 7th lap there. I'll be amazed if he does, like you said.
If he is going to, he's a pretty cluey driver for a young bloke. I think he's the youngest driver we've got in wheel to wheel. But I think he's cluey enough to realise if you're going to do your 7 run, save it till you're light on fuel.
Yeah, that's right. Yep. Adam's done great here. He's caught right up to the back of Dale. Unfortunately, Dale had that incident. The guys are coming in now for their softs. Yep, all 4 front runners are coming in. Be interesting to see what they change to, whether they go for a hard tyre or they stay on the softs.
So all that gives your leader as Adam V10 now, and Fixer Chris in 2nd, and Goat managed to come back out in third place there.
Yep, Goat stayed on the soft tyres, and so has DJ Stefko. So with those soft tyres, they should make pretty quick work of the guys in front of them on hards, given that the hards have already gone through 7 laps. So they should find themselves at the front of the field again.
Was that a glitch, or did I see Dragon come into the pits? Because I saw a red S come up beside his name.
No, his tyres look pretty worn. They're just about, not halfway at the moment, but they don't look to like to be changed, that's for sure. And his fuel's just a little over half, so I don't think he came in.
I'd expect Dragon in on about lap 15, 16 to get his softs on, if he's doing a hard soft.
So Adam's now got Fixer Chris right on his tail as they go to the stiff chicane. Oh, jeez, that was close. There's a lot of sliding in that car from Adam in that Supra. So much power.
We've got fighting back there, KZ and Stefko as well. Stefko is very much well and truly under that wing of KZ's, and let me tell you, there's no love lost between these fellas. They will race hard all night long. They are good mates, and they're not shy to get it out there and give each other a go. So that'll be a fun battle to watch, even though KZ's on hards.
Just as you say that, DJ Stefko's gone past Kazadro, as would be expected on the softs, but the battle up front for the top 3. Adam's now lost his lead, and Fixer Chris has moved into 2nd, but Goat has somehow made his way past both of those guys in that corner. DJ Stefko.
Suddenly we're back up again with the Goat and Fixer Chris battle here. One running softs, one running hards. I expect Goat to put away a little bit there, and Fixer Chris just to continue with his strategy.
So the lead that Goat had before they came into the pits was about 2.5 seconds, and DJ Stefko is at 2.8 at the moment, so he hasn't lost too much. Probably that little battle he had with Kazadro might have set him back a little bit, but now he's got 2 more cars in front of him he needs to negotiate before he gets back up chasing Goat.
Remembering Fixer Chris had a little chunk of chicken as he went through the chicane as well. So he unfortunately is probably about 10 seconds down to where he'd want to be. So I think he's got a lot of making up to do still on those hards.
And back here in 8th and 9th, Corbin has undertaken Dragon on the right-hander, but then, certainly Scooter and Dragon.
He's about to go past his teammate Corbin. Scooter, which he's done so, you'd expect. And Scooter now can just sit in behind. Those Lexus are great cars. They've got some nice power. The only problem is that it comes on way too early. It's really hard to negotiate the power on the Lexus. Now Corbin needs to make a break from these guys, so they're not taking advantage of his slipstream. He's made a bit of a break there out of that corner.
And Stefko's gone up the inside of Fixer Chris. Stefko being on his softs, and Fixer Chris just backing off a bit and just staying on his hards and trying to keep his tactics going there.
Well, we missed that, but it's DJ Stefko's gone past both Fixer Chris and Adam, back into 2nd, and he can start to chase Goat. Goat's now pulled his lead out to 3.3 seconds, but that's exactly what the doctor ordered for DJ Stefko.
Yeah, certainly doing a good job TDR Racing here on behalf of 180 Embroidery.
Oh, jeez. Goat's getting damn close to that wall. DJ Stefko's hit it, and he's got front damage. And Chris is about to go straight past him again, and so will Adam.
Pure Axle's just picked up some damage through the chicken now.
Casadro closing down on that front four. He's making inroads into the gap. And as you said, Pure Axle is in 6th position now, not too far off, 3 seconds off Casadro. And CCH is only 1.3 seconds behind Pure Axle. And Dale's also gone past a couple of the hard runners at the moment. He's also sitting with Scooter right on his tail.
Yeah, it's all the action spread across the field. Doesn't matter whether it's the top two or further down the field, they're certainly battling it out all the way through.
Yeah, so at the moment, the battle group we've got forming is behind DJ Stefko with Fixer Chris and Adam. And Goat now a good 5.6 seconds out in front with that damage that DJ Stefko suffered, really giving him a nice gap now. So let's look through the field, looking at the hard runners, and I think it's going to be a prediction. Havoc, when do you think that they may come in to change for potentially the soft tyres?
But the hards are still reckon lap 15 or 16, and for those in the next lap or two for those on softs, it's laps 11 and 12 will be key for those that are running maybe a triple soft, but expect, yeah, it's still another 5 laps yet for these hards, if they can stretch it that far.
Yeah, so I don't think we're going to see anyone on triple softs, given the fact that the 4 guys currently on softs have only done 6 laps, and everyone else on hard tyres hasn't come in early. So I think that the three stop on softs is not going to happen. Just watching Fixer Chris now with Adam staying close behind. Fixer Chris is doing a great job to stay in touch with him on the hard tyres especially. Casadro is only 3 seconds off those guys. There's a bit of a gap between Goat and DJ Stefko at the moment, so there's no action to report there. There's a bit of distance, and it looks like, yep, something must have happened to Zoo. He is way behind. He's at 1.5 minutes behind the leaders. So, and PLE Goat is coming up to the back of him now, so he must have had a major incident somewhere on the track.
Yeah, a lot of drivers struggling with especially in the lower division, struggling with the chicane there at the bottom. It's certainly very challenging, and yeah, alright, Zoo certainly not had a good day with that.
No, and it's really surprising. Zoo's finding himself in the 11th position on the ladder at the moment, but it's not. It's uncharacteristic of Zoo, and he's spun again. So he has not had very many good races this season. It'll be a season for him to put behind him.
How's Zoo's tyres looking?
They're not great at all. They're just under half at the moment. He's got engine damage and front damage as well now. So
our Scooter's coming early.
But yeah, I mean, Scooter's tyres are a lot worse than Zoo's. Zoo's are looking pretty healthy compared to Scooter's. So yeah, I don't know whether he's just struggling with the car or the track.
And the next 2 or 3 laps, expect a lot of action in the pits with all the drivers getting down to about 20 or 30% left on their tread. So be interesting to see how they cope with the deaf chicken and how they manage to get around on such low tread.
Yep, so Scooter's come in for his softs on the 12th lap, which means that he's going to have to put in 2 stints of softs on one will have to be 6 laps, the other one will have to be 7. And judging the way
Scooter
that
actually came in on 11, so he's going to have to do 2 7.
2 7s.
Yep.
Well, I must admit that's a little bit worrying when I was looking at how worn his hard tyres were compared to some of the others in the field.
Goat and Stefco are in now, I dare say, so they'll come in as their 6s. I would almost expect the next lap the hard runners to start coming in at around lap 13, because you can pull off 6 laps, which is what these 2 guys have just done. So if you come in at 13, you'll be able to get in 2 stints of softs on 6 laps to the end. Interesting to see here what Goat and Stefco come out on. I think one may be softs. Yep. Goat's out on softs, I think.
Oh, wow.
And Stefco as well.
That's a bit of a surprise, actually. We'll see whether or not that pays off for the guys. We've got Fixer Chris, Adam, Cazadro and Pure Axel all stayed out for another lap on those hards, and I'm just going to go through the tyres. And Fixer Chris has got the best tyres, followed up by Pure Axel, and then Cazadro and Adam are about the same, but they're a little bit worse, or a little worse than Fixer Chris and Pure Axel's. Oh, Goat goes, he goes past Pure Axel. That was close. Pure Axel was aware of him coming up the inside. And there is no match for those fresh, soft tyres. And now he's coming up to Cazadro at an unbelievable pace.
Yep, certainly Corbin at the back there, CCH 199 is on his hards, and I would say on the run home now. You won't find him stopping again. Be interesting to see where he finishes. And certainly back up the front, it's...
Oh! Was that KZ? No, who just wiped
Zoo.
out and was Zoo again? Poor Zoo.
He's not having a great time on this track.
Did that, and we've got Adam in now, did that give Goat damage at all? He seemed to have fell back a bit behind KZ.
And there's no damage on Goat's screen, so I'd say he's got away with that.
So all the hard runners coming in now at the end of lap 13. Should start seeing them come out on softs, I reckon. Well, that looked like Scooter come out on hards or something. No.
Tombo's come in with 0 fuel compared to everyone in the 20s, so I don't know how he's managed to burn every last drop compared to everybody else, especially the Beetle.
Chris has been trying all week to save as much tyre as he can. Is he due in this lap? What do you think? What are his tyres looking like?
Looking at those tyres, would not surprise me if Chris goes around for another lap.
Yeah, so I'd say out of all of them, Chris is trying to get his one-stop strategy, and he did try this during the week. If anyone here is going to pull it off, I think it may be Chris in the Beetle. So fingers crossed he can pull it off, but those other guys on the softs, they can catch up pretty damn quick.
I tell you what, he's playing with fire with that chicane. The last 3 times he's gone through it, he's gone through sideways, and he's just managed to keep it off the wall.
Yeah, the kid from the coast certainly knows how to push it to the very edge.
And he comes down. Yep.
Yeah.
So that gives him, what's that? It's 11 laps.
So he's going to push 11 laps on softs, or he's doing 2 short stints. But that could have hurt Chris, because the guys on softs before him are going to get an awesome undercut on him on those hards. And if he's going to try and push these tyres, I don't think he's brave enough, or mad enough, I should say, to push the softs for 11 laps. You never know. But yeah, that could have hurt him. I think he might have been better off coming in a lap earlier, but we'll wait and see.
His lapse times are all 38s, so it didn't look like it was slowing down too much at all. It didn't look like the tyres. Oh, geez, he's lucky to hold it on there. He's got cold tyres coming out of the pits, and he's
So to take you through your lead at the moment, you've got Goat in front by 8 seconds from DJ Stefco, who is a further 5.4 seconds in front of Fixer Chris. Fixer Chris running 4.8 seconds in front of Scooter. Scooter in 4th, and Adam V10 in 5th, who is 3 seconds behind Scooter and 3 seconds in front of Kzedro, who is 6th, running 0.7 in front of Pure Axel. And then Pure Axel a further 1 second in front of Corbin, as we see some overtaking and action at the back here with Pure Axel lapping Zoo and a couple of the guys trying to get round Zoo at this depth chicane while still trying to race themselves.
Yeah, Zoo showing some great sportsmanship there. He just pulled to the side and let Pure Axel go straight through. Oh, geez, Kazadro sideways through the depth chicane.
Oh, that hurt.
And
we've had a big 3-car. Zoo, Tombo and Corbin. Good night, Irene.
And who was in front of that pack?
I think it might have been from memory CCH.
Okay, all
on the
right.
back fair.
I wish I could give you a replay. One day GT7 might give us a replay feature back.
Yeah, so CCH has got engine damage and front damage as well, so...
And Tombo's just done the same, coming out of the chicken. He got a bit sideways and went to the right hand arc over there, and he's recovering from that damage now. So he'll be slowed down a bit. Dowell's going to undertake him as we speak.
Yeah, Tombo stays out of his way, lets him go past.
What we've effectively got here too with these front runners is they're now settled into the same strat. So you've had your guys who are going soft, which are your Goats and Stefcos. They've already had 2 pit stops. They've only got 1 more to go. But they will have to push one of their stints out to 7. But then you've got your guys who ran their hards first that are now on their first soft run. So they're going to have to pit stop for another soft as well. So effectively these guys up the top now are racing for position. This is where they're going to iron out, unless Chris tries to push 11 laps, but that'll be a phenomenal effort if he does.
Yep, they're not looking too bad for coming now onto his 3rd lap. They're looking pretty good. Looking at DJ and Goat, they're just about at half tyre wear at the moment, so I expect Chris will start to pull some time in on both those guys.
If these guys are doing they've got to do 1 stint at 7. Now they can either choose to do this stint at 7, which means they'll probably pull back a little bit and just try and conserve that tyre a tad. If they do, they're going to come in at the end of lap 19. If they're saving their 7 stint for the last one, they'll come in at the end of lap 18. So it'll just be interesting to see which lap they come in on there.
Yeah, and it's going to be tricky for them there, Dodge, because on the 6th lap, it's hard enough trying to keep those tyres or the car where you want them with the worn tyres. With a 7th lap and getting close to the end of the race, and you're trying to maintain distance, it's a perfect mix for you making the wrong decision.
Oh, go sideways through the chicken. Here comes Stefco for his go.
Goat's got himself some front damage.
Yep. Adam's just undertaking Scooter here as they approach the chicken, and Adam will have enough fuel not to have to use any fuel in the next pit stop, so he won't be taking on board fuel whilst Scooter will. So he's guaranteed that position now, providing he doesn't make any mistakes.
I expect Scooter will actually be in on this lap. He's running pretty low and his tyres look just about done. So no, he stays out. He's going to do 1 more. Alright, let's hope he doesn't pay for that. Those tyres are looking pretty red. There's not much white on them.
Corbin just survived that chicane then. Dale's turn, with Tombo close behind.
Now we must have missed a pit stop because Corbin and Dale came in. CCH and Dale came in at the same time, but CCH must have pitted again because his tyres are in much better shape than Dale's.
Something's happening Corbin there. On the hards and Dale's on the softs. Dal still has to stop. Corbin's going to the end, as we mentioned before. So he shouldn't worry too much about Dal there. And he should catch Dragon as well. Dragon's still going to take fuel and another set of softs.
What's Goat going to do here?
Yeah. He is. No, he's not.
He's stressing it even more.
Push the 7.
He should make it round quite easily there.
Stefko's pushing the 7 as well.
Yeah, so no difference in tyres, but Stefko's got a little bit more fuel than Goat does at this point.
I must admit, this is the one where I pushed the 7 in the middle. And it does cost you this lap. You'll probably see Chris almost close up on DJ, depending on how much he's got to conserve to get that tyre around to the end, because those last few corners, you don't want to put your foot down.
So this is the, I think he pitted on lap 14, so what's that, 5 laps? This is his 5th lap, and I must admit those tyres look like they're 3-lap old tyres, not 5. He might be able to make him go to 25, but that's still a good 7 laps away, so, and they're just on half at the moment. He's definitely catching DJ Stefko though. He's coming up to the back of him. Oh no, DJ's done a spin.
There you go, the tyres went. And that's like we said, when they fall off a cliff, they fall off a cliff. You wait till you see him at the bottom of this hill. He's going to have to take it so slow.
Yeah, and at the fastest part of the track, the car just will not turn into those sweepers. Oh, there he goes.
Yep.
Yeah, he's nursing it around. It's got Adam closing down on him now. Oh, DJ, keep it together.
Goat's fighting it. He can't keep it straight. It is a scary lap, that last lap, especially at this time setting. It tends to chew the tyres a lot more.
Captain Adam's just about to go past DJ, and he does. DJ, pull it up. Got to keep it.
No, didn't think so.
No, there's nothing. There's practically nothing left on the.
That is so sad. DJ is going to be kicking himself there.
Oh, struggling to get into the pits. Oh, he's gone around again.
Did he get thrown out?
No, he didn't make it in.
He's lost 3 tyres. He's only got 1 tyre left on that.
Oh, he's struggling to keep it together just to get into the pits. All right, he's in. Wow, that was
wow. That
was traumatic.
Yeah. Expect the same from Fixer Chris. Now, is he going to run to the end, or has he got to come in? Because if he's got to come in, Adam V10 is on for his pole, I've got a feeling Fixer Chris is going to go down to 3rd or 4th, and Goat will come through with Adam taking up 2nd.
Yeah, he's got no choice. He's going to have to come in. He's flashing at the moment, so I don't know whether or not he's made a mistake there, or whether he purposely knew that he was going to come in for another set of softs, but he definitely will be coming into the pits. Oh, jeez. Far out. He goes through the chicane. Fine. Those tyres are just about done. He will have 5 laps on soft tyres, and at the moment his lead is just under 17 seconds. We'll see what happens. How long he stays in there for. Get inside those lines, Chris. Well done. Right, he's in.
On with Goat to see where he comes out.
Yep, so Adam's 10 seconds off Goat, and he's got Kazadro 6 seconds behind him, but they're running to the end now. There's no need for them to stop. They stopped last lap.
Chris is now refueling now, and Goat's passed.
He is, yep. He's coming out of the pits now, and Adam is coming up. This will be close. Adam's going to be right on Chris's tail. It's closing down. It's under 2 seconds.
And Fix Chris got to be careful here with cold softs not to make any mistakes. That's for sure.
Yep, Adam's got his tyres up to temp and just bringing him down. It's down to 1.5 at the moment, and Chris just needs to be patient and let those tyres warm up a little bit. But looking at Goat, he's got himself 8.5 second lead, and looks like he may well stay there. I think it's going to be too much for Chris to try to bring back in.
Yeah, I think you're right there.
Now, looking back, let's have a look where DJ Stefko has ended up in 9th position after the incident that he had with his tyres, which is a little bit disappointing for him. I think he'll be, as you said, Dodgy will be kicking himself. He was in a great position there to get some good points.
Yeah, certainly that'll have a big effect on the team championships, running third, considering going back to 9th.
Well, I expect that he'll make short work of CCH, whose tyres are not looking great at the moment, and I'm not sure if CCH... Oh, and he's already gone off there.
He's off, yeah.
And DJ's almost followed him as well.
Stays on line.
Alright, DJ's 12 seconds off Dragon, and there's no need for Dragon. Oh, geez, he's just made it through the death chicane there without hitting the wall, but I can't see that Dragon needs to stop. He's got fresh tyres and enough fuel. Pure Axle also in 6th, looks to be have fresh tyres and fuel. He's coming up on the back of Scooter here. Scooter's tyres are twice as worn as Pure Axle's, and fuel is a little bit lower, but I think there's probably enough there for Scooter to get round the next 4 laps.
Yeah, certainly going for the run for the last 3 or 4 laps here. The main battles look to be Fixer Chris and Adam V10 trying to close it in there, and Scooter, Pure Axle having a battle in 5th and 6th. Expect that to get pretty tasty as we head to the last laps. And back here, CCH and Dale Keats in 9th and 10th respectively. And yeah, main 2 battles should be up the front now.
Yeah, I was expecting that Adam, if he wanted to have a go at Chris, he really did in that last lap have to take... Oh no, he's gone into the wall.
Yeah, too much.
And I must admit, with the size of the impact, I can't believe he hasn't got engine damage. But he's
got away with that one.
He's got away with that one. He's just got some... his front end hit the wall, but he's got back end damage. I don't know how that works. Zoo's pretty much trying to get himself into the pits, and also finding the same problem as DJ Stefko. He's ice skating. There is absolutely no traction. Zoo now finding himself 3.5 minutes behind the rest of the field. I think that's a good 2 laps behind, or it will be by the time he comes out of the pits. As I was saying, that Adam really needed to wash off that second that he was behind Chris while his tyres were warm and Chris was warming his tyres up. Now he's lost that advantage of the warm tyres, and Chris has got himself a 6-second lead. There won't be much that Adam will be able to do from this position.
Yeah, it seems to have spaced out a bit now with 5 seconds between Goat and Fixer Chris. Don't know if Goat's made a mistake there, and Fixer Chris has picked up some time.
Well, I'm just looking at his lap times, and he's set a 36. He's got 2 38s and then a 36. So those 2 38s were the 2 laps after the pit stop. But you're dead right. The gap was at 8 seconds. It's down to just under 5.5 seconds now. Although I do think that with 2 laps to go, it's going to be a huge ask for Chris. It's just on 5 seconds now. So Chris is definitely putting it to Goat, but I think Goat will probably have enough of a gap to keep him in that front position.
Yeah, expect this to be the podium for yourselves. For Goat, for PLE Goat 13 to finish on top there, Fixer Chris in 2nd, and Adam V10 in 3rd. There's still some chicken to be had yet, so we'll see.
Yeah, the battle at the moment, Scooter and Pure Axle side by side. Oh, Scooter's going to go. No, he was going to go around the outside, and he decided better of it. His tyres are definitely not in any shape to try to pull off that move. Pure Axle now getting past him, and I expect that Pure Axle will run away. His tyres are a lot better condition than Scooter's. Scooter has got 2 laps and he's flashing already, although judging how he managed with his fuel before the previous pit stop, he should be able to make it through with a lap and a half to go. It's just his tyres that are looking a little bit iffy at the moment.
Yeah, certainly Scooter's done well. We were talking about him quite a few laps ago with those hards and that strategy, and he's gone from the back of the field to the mid and pulled himself up into 6th, so a very decent performance there.
Casadro also, he had that incident right at the beginning of the race. He's got himself in the 4th position. That's a great effort by Casadro.
So who would you pick as your driver of the day as we go into the last lap or 2?
I think as usual it's either Goat or Fixer Chris. I think they ended up 1-2 in the previous race, and now they're about to end up 1-2 again in this race, so you can never separate these guys. I think Adam's done a great job, I think, coming in 3rd, and I think he also came in 4th in the first race, so that's a great result for Team 13R.
Yeah, the pair of them doing very well.
Just keep my eye on Scooter, who's getting to that danger zone point with his tyres at the moment. I'm thinking that they're not going to last till the end. They may well fall off in the next 2 or 3 corners. We'll keep an eye on him. Dragon's too far away to catch him. He's 8 seconds behind.
Goat coming through the death chicane for the last time.
Yes. Certainly should be interesting.
Very tentatively. Chris brought it down to 3 seconds, but it was just too big of a gap for him to make up. As they round the last corner, Goat will take out race 2.
He's done it on softs, no hards. Well done, Goat.
And there's Chris in 2nd position. Adam now coming up the hill to cross the line in 3rd.
Adam's going to be chuffed with being at the pointy end. Absolutely. It's been a while. Long time between drinks for Adam.
Yeah, it has, yeah. Casadro from the back of the field into 4th. Well, that was a great effort by Casadro. Pure Axle now in 5th. Scooter is just going to get it home with
no front tyre.
No front tyre. And Dragon
well
had closed that gap up from 8 seconds to 4, so he was definitely feeling it, but he's done a great job to get it there. Dragon's in 7th. DJ Stefko is now coming up to across the line in 8th.
That is the sad story of the night, unfortunately. Stefko having that big incident with those tyres.
Yep.
Certainly.
He lost so much time. 3 times he spun trying to get into the pits. And Corbin and CCH and Dale's just pipped him. Oh no, sorry, it was Tombo. Tombo's just pipped him at the line. And there's Zoo.
Is Zoo out of fuel?
No, he's not out of fuel. Sure,
I think he's just pressed it on pause, has he?
He's going to make him wait.
I'm surprised that it didn't end his race being 2 laps behind. Usually it would have... 3 laps now.
It depends how long he's been putting around there. But yeah, look, it was a great job by these guys. Goat, he's done... Oh, Zoo's creeping across, and is that enough for him to finish? There you go, he's done. Great job by Goat.
Awesome.
Great job by the top 3, actually. Good to see Adam back up there again. And look, I've just got to say that if you're out there, if you're watching, if Wheel to Wheel looks like something you want to give a go, our registrations are currently open for next season, season 12. They do close, so if you want to be on a team or as a privateer, we do have the addition of part-time drivers this season. So if you can't quite commit to a whole season, being a part-time driver with another one like Adam V10 is with Captain Lowside this season is always an option for other teams now. So they close off next Sunday. Also next Sunday, huge huge week next Sunday. Oh my God, 69 laps around Willow Springs, Big Willow Raceway. Wow.
Yep, Dodgy, it's going to be the one of those enduros that everyone will be waiting for and waiting to get into the get their seat in the driver's, get their ass in the driver's seat and see if they can pull off a win. But 69
laps in
69
the
laps.
Nissan Silvia.
Yep. And we were talking about all the problems with tyre wear. Next week, you're not going to be able to escape it. There's going to be too many pit stops for people to think that they're going to go around once or twice or push their tyres. It's not going to be something that people are going to want to do. But it'll be interesting to see what strategies they come up with.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
One of those tracks too, you thought it was bad with the death chicane here. The death chicane really only costs you probably about 10 to 12 seconds. At Big Willow, if you go off, you might as well light up that barbecue, take a picnic lunch, because you aren't coming back for days in that desert.
Yeah, that's right, Dodgy. You don't go off track at Big Willow. It's I think they call it lost in space. When you leave the track, you may as well be in a spacecraft, because by the time you get back, mate, a whole century would have gone by. But congratulations tonight to Fixer Chris and Goat. Fixer Chris pulled off race 1. Goat pulled off race 2. That's gonna close up the standings, or it may not. We'll have to wait and see after the points are allocated. Unfortunately, Pure Axel in 3rd and Scooter in 4th did not have a great race, so those guys will have to wait till next week to battle it out for 3rd position. But that's it for round 8 of season 11. Thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully we'll have you back again next week for the last round at Big Willow, the Enduro. It'll be a great round to finish season 11 with. And on that note, Havoc, thanks for joining.
Thank you very much for having me. Look forward to Big Willow next week.
Dodgy, once again, thank you for visuals and comms.
Mate, not a problem. Happy to be here as always. And also, sorry, I missed one thing before you go. Keep an eye out on our socials, because Wheel to Wheel does have a raffle running at the moment. You can win yourself an actual PS5 for yours to keep. Go hard, go sick, have a look. Should be out on Facebook soon. Will be drawn at the menus live at Menu Selection. I think it's around the 12th of next month. So keep an eye on that one coming out on the socials or our Discord.
Another great event by Wheel to Wheel team. And lastly, we'd like to thank our sponsors, Jade Finance Australia, BQS Group, AMS Excavations, 180 Embroidery and Hybrid Ag for sponsoring the league and making this all possible. And so until next week, we wish you all a good night, and we'll see you then.